Woo! You're watching the Green Dream Project. Jim here.
Jessica.
Now, if you don't know, we live off-grid in southeast Arizona. We're about to build our own off-grid house out of earthbags. And then we decided we needed water. So what did we end up doing? We built a huge, giant cistern. The excavator is coming. Oh, I'm so excited. It's about to go down. It's happening, y'all. Very exciting. You know, after he's done with all this, that means we gotta get busy. So the final part of the dig is happening. He's putting in the trench right now. Going from this hole over to where the house site is. This guy will probably get done in minutes what it would take me days or weeks to try and trench by hand. So I'll sit this one out. I'll let him do the work. Woo! Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
How else do you describe what's going on here? I don't know.
It's crazy to see.
I'm very excited about this third hole. This one is going to be our water tank. We're building our own water tank out of earth bags. As much as I want to get started with the house, I think that's where we're gonna have to start. We're gonna have to start building our new off-grid water tank. This thing is going to be massive. Woo, I can't wait to start. This is it. This is like the beginning of everything that we're doing out here. Building our home, building a sustainable life out here in the desert. Man, I am excited. I wanna get to putting dirt in bags, y'all. Well, so it begins. I'm standing in front of one of the huge pits we have dug out, and we're about to start one of the most monumental tasks we've ever done in our lives. This one's got me nervous and excited, and I'm all kinds of things over here. We are gonna be building a massive water tank to harvest rainwater off of here. But now we have these raw holes dug into the ground. For the water tank, I think I'm gonna need to bring up some of that material, bring up some of those rocks. All this has got to come out. Level out the ground.
Oops.
This is it. This is the start of something huge. Well, it's time to build the compass. If you want to build an earthbag, cylinder, or a dome, this thing is a must. It's just basically chain link fence parts. We got 10 tons of concrete sand delivered. I am going to start moving some of this sand into the pit. That way it'll help us give a nice, even, smooth ground out there. Shoveling the sand ain't too bad. After having tossed all that dirt and rocks out of that pit. This is like a vacation. Just get the little protective layer of sand down there and have it level. That's what I'm going for. Today is the day. Today is the day we're gonna get some soil into these bags and start our first course. Very exciting. It's been a long time coming, but we're about to start filling bags. She's gonna be down at the bottom since she's quality control. She's gonna make sure these bags are on point. I'll be up here doing the running around, getting things mixed, handing her cans, giving her what she needs. Isn't that what a good husband does? This is the barbed wire roll stand. I just put a steel bar through the barbed wire roll and just held it in place with some cinder blocks. And it seems to do pretty well. So today, I need to lay the pipe for our rainwater harvesting tank. Everything's got to go in ahead of time. Everything's got to be planned. So I'll be putting the pipe in there before we start placing the second row of bags. Super important. I'll probably try and get that whole thing set up. Get the pipe in there, the valve, get all that ready to go. All right, we're about to start the second course of our Earthbag Cistern. You ready, girl? All right, we're about to knock this out. Course number 2. Let's get it done. Woo! We'd like to be out here getting more progress done on this, but it's just a no-go with the rain. So I'm hoping we don't have any troubles down here. Hopefully the cistern holds up. We could be getting a decent amount of rain, but we'll take it. It'll fill up all the water we used so far for this build. Oh, it's coming down. It's coming down. It's been raining pretty much non-stop here all day. Man, and it's days like this where I think about how much I've seen that pipe overflow and how much water we could have collected all this time. So it'll be nice once this cistern is built, but I'm concerned about the bottom of the cistern. We got the 2 courses down, we got that tarp down. I'm afraid it's gonna end up looking like a pool. Yeah, these bags are definitely squishy. From what I've heard is that these bags, sometimes, you know, it can rain, they can get wet, and if they do, like they are now, because they're very squishy, they can actually dry harder than they were initially, and that's really good, especially for the base. But I don't know if this is going to hold us back. I don't know how long it's going to take for these to kind of solidify a little more. I mean, we might want that before we start putting the next layer on. So I think other than that, everything's looking pretty good. The day right after the rainstorm, the bags were soggy. They're still a little bit soft, but they've definitely firmed up. I think we're ready to begin building. We got prepared, we got the tools out, soil's ready to go. Just got Mjolnir. You ready to go? She's ready today, look at that. Ah! Let's hear a girl power roar. So we are probably just over halfway to fill in course number 3. And this is just going a lot faster. I think having this pile pre-moistened and just kind of skipping the whole wheelbarrow step has been a game changer out here. So, you know, we'll keep at it. We'll keep refining our process until, you know, it's just bah, bah, bah. Like clockwork and we're getting it done. All right, now that this job is done, I'm gonna go around and start backfilling up to that point. Tamp that down, get that real nice and tight, start to build a good, strong structure up from here. My idea is to just do away with the mixture completely. Starting working the bags after the rain was just amazing. The soil was already moist. We didn't need to add any water. It was almost sift right into the bags. And I think I want to do that because that'll save us a ton of work, a ton of time. What I've been doing is as we sift, get some water down on the soil. I'm just gonna cover it up a little bit. Some of this is still moist from all the rain we got the other day. We are now at the end of March, and the temperatures aren't even that bad yet.
No, the high was like 75-ish.
We're like mid 70s, but I'll tell you, I don't care what time of year it is. The sun up here in the high desert is just intense. We're getting pretty close to the hottest months of the year. The hottest, driest months. So we're just gonna have to be careful. Get some of the work done in the morning, maybe do some other chores around midday, and then finish up anything later on in the evening. We were just spending a little extra time out here. We wanted to get the backfilling done. We wanted to get the tamping done, so we're ready to go.
It's kind of nice working out here after dark, actually.
You know what? Yeah, it's cool. You can see the stars. And it's romantic. Oh. All right, I just gotta point this out. Take a look at this. Jessica has already developed the skill to cinch the barbed wire into the bags without even using any rocks or bricks or whatever. I need no weights. Woo! This is gonna be awesome. She's so talented. But now that she can do this, I mean, this will save a ton of time and a ton of headache once we go up, and we can't just, have a bunch of rocks laying around. So this is nice.
I think we're making good progress.
We're making pretty good progress, considering a couple of amateurs don't know what we're doing.
If we're working through the summer,
It's gonna be rough, no doubt about it.
gotta pace ourselves because this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Those winds were just absolutely ruckus. I mean, there's definitely been worse winds, but I tell you, the winds can be just as rough to work in as the intense desert sun. The wind's been so strong, I gotta wear these to keep the sand from getting in my eye. Plus, it's drying out all my dirt. So you can see I put a tarp over the dirt. I don't want to lose any water. I don't want to have to use any more water than I have to. Losing all the water I'm putting on there to evaporation just seems like an incredible waste. So as much as I can reduce that, I'm going to do that. But I mean, how good does this feel, right? We're building our own rainwater harvesting cistern from the dirt, right from our own land. Just subsoil and rainwater. How cool is that we're building our rainwater harvesting cistern using collected rainwater? While I'm sifting, she's gonna go ahead and start course number 10. What? Ha ha! We're going into double digits, y'all! Course number 10! Let's get it on course number 10! Here we go! Hoo! Was that too much?
Good energy.
Good energy. Hype man!
Now give me some of that.
Energized! Building anything really helps build your self-confidence. It builds your self-esteem. It empowers you. You do some studying, and most anyone can just jump right in to building with earth. I think when we started this journey, everyone was like, when are you gonna get a well put in? We ended up doing water harvesting, I think, just because we just felt more comfortable with it, There's just no guarantees with a well.
Out here in an arid area, it's very much a reality that you might have a well that goes dry.
We moved out here and everyone thought that's crazy to be off doing rainwater harvesting as your sole source of water. But so far, even with just the 2 small tanks, we've been getting by with just our living needs.
Yeah, and with the larger storage, that opens up all kinds of possibilities of being able to grow food and sustaining us for all our needs.
So we're trying something a little new with this course. We got a little bit sifted, but we're gonna try and go to a pile that we haven't even touched yet. And we're gonna try and take straight from that pile and put it into the bags. We're doing fine with the plastic tanks we have, but once we have this cistern built, we can start on the house, and man, I love what it means for our future out here. Just every day we're working out here, building toward that sustainability, and just moving toward that self-sufficiency and just being able to just live out here. We'll have all of our water, be growing our own food, and in a house that's so appropriate to the climate. Course 16 finished and tamped. Looking good. We gotta stop here though. We have something else we gotta do before we can keep going up. Now I'm gonna start pounding the rebar inside these bags. I think at least 1 per each bag. We're gonna go down not only through the upper layer of the bags, but also down a little bit into ground level. And then we're gonna bend the rebar out. We have a new idea. So what we've been doing is getting out there early in the morning and trying to get it done in 1 day. But what I noticed from the last time we did that is that we're working and it just gets hot so quickly during the day. We get hot, it's tough working in there, and the mix dries out crazy fast. So what my idea was is to actually start this new course in the evening. Work for a few hours, try and get as much as done as we can, then head right back out in the morning, finish it off. I figure at night, you're not gonna get that evaporation, the mix should be wet. Let's just see how that works. We finally completed our earth bag walls. Very exciting. This thing is now 8 feet deep probably about a little over 3 feet above ground. But we have got to get ready. We have got to get this liner in place. Oh. So I'm at one of the most nerve-wracking parts. At least I find it nerve-wracking. I'm gonna have to cut into the liner for the plumbing. So installing a bulkhead on like a regular cistern, you know, you'd be able to attach this on there, turn the nut on there because the walls are flat and you can get to the surface. But here, the bulkhead's gonna go onto the pipe, but I have to tighten it from the other side of the liner. Now, I was on the other side of this last night. It was crazy. So I'm gonna use some of the shower pad liner to seal the self-made gasket we made to the actual liner. We're going to be building a massive Gabion retaining wall around the whole outer perimeter of the cistern. It'll help increase the strength of the walls. Too, it'll also help support the roof we're going to put on this. I'm going to start placing this rebar through the liner and down into the bags. I'm going to go probably 1.5 feet down into these bags. I'm going to leave about 6 inches or so above. And one, I'm hoping this will secure the liner to the cistern, and also this will help act as like a framework for one side of the gabion. Now I'm going to put it the outside of the gabion, right along the outside. We're going about 2 feet out. We're going to attach the outside of the gabion cage to the inside of the gabion cage, to the middle. Just attach it all over, get it nice, snug, all over the place. I think we kind of underestimated the scope of this gabion. It was huge. Yeah, at one point we thought, oh, maybe we could just harvest everything from the piles over here, but that wasn't gonna work. Woo! This is how you get fit off grid. Yeah! Oh. Oh. And then not only did it take 4 trips to pick up all that used concrete, it took like 3 truckloads of me going out and picking up rocks to finish the facade. So I think this will make the liner more secure. It'll protect the liner better.
We won't have to worry about maintenance on it. It's gonna rust a little bit, but in our dry climate, it should last quite a while.
And it adds a lot of strength. But this also has another use too. It will actually act as sort of a support structure for the roof. The roof is coming up next. So I'm still using the Shosugi bond technique of prepping this wood. So I got my burning and brushing station over here. Burn that wood. Get a nice brush going on, get all that soot off. Give it a nice oil. I got the last couple of baseboards up. Next up is going to be the trusses. Large wood boards, we're going to span it going from the north to the south, and I think it'll make for a real sturdy structure. We got a framework up here for the roof. I'm excited. So what do we got after this?
Plumbing and then sheathing the roof, right?
You got to see how this whole thing works together as a whole, not only storage system, but rain catchment system. It's fantastic. I got to continue on with the build with this cistern. I got to add our manhole so we can get in, do any kind of maintenance over there. So it should be very cool. All right, so here's the part I've been waiting for, getting to put the plumbing in. So I'm excited. Today, I'm gonna start putting the stucco mesh over our trusses. This is pretty much gonna form the base or the structure from which our roof is made of. We're gonna put 4 to 5 layers of this mesh going across the cistern, across the gabion. This, along with cement, is pretty much gonna be our roof. It should be pretty exciting. I can't wait to try this out. I think this is gonna be very cool. Now we wanna put at least maybe a couple layers of this mesh right down here for the gutters. I put in a lot of rocks, kind of shaped that out, so it should just be kind of like laying the mesh right on top of it. Now I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna cut our manhole. I got to install our ladder. I'm also going to cut the wire going over the pipes. And there's still lizards down there. I got to get those things out. All right, so we have actually started the FERRO-CEMENT process, but basically we're using a 3 sand, 1 part cement mix. Throw it in here, throw some water in. Now I'm the mix master. I'll show you what Jessica's doing. She's the one applying the cement. So now that we got the baseboards all coated with cement, now we're gonna try and go over the top. I'd say we've been putting in 14-hour days at least working on this roof, but we're making good progress. We almost got the scratch coat done on the roof. And then after that, we'll be putting another layer on top of that. I think that'll go a lot quicker. And then the gutters. This is it, y'all. I get to dump the last bucket. Last little bit. Oh, man, can you believe it? We're done with this thing. Oh my goodness. It was just one of those things. You know, you start on a project, things end up costing a little bit more, taking a little bit longer than you expect. You know, plans changed on this a couple times throughout the whole thing, but it's here, it's ready to go. Technically, this thing could start collecting water today if we wanted it to.
You're gonna cry.
I might cry a little bit. I tell you, if we get the first big monsoon rains and this thing starts filling up, I might not be able to hold back. So much work, but we did it. We did it. My next big project that I'm gonna undertake is I'm gonna redo this whole plumbing system. Everything's changing out here. I'm gonna be working on that. And then after that will be the house.